Let's get her done, baby. Can you see me? Can you feel me? Can you see me? Can you feel me? Yo, here we are. Here we are. I'm gonna have to talk to you like this because if I talk in my normal speaking voice, I'm gonna start to like squeak. I have a little bug. Or started school 2 weeks ago. We just been recycling this bug, bouncing around in the house or whatever. So, I mean, I feel great. It's just my throat's a little squeegee. I always like when my voice does that though, because it forces me to talk from here. And I normally would not talk to people like this, because they would feel like I'm trying to be condescending to them. I don't know what happened. Maybe somewhere in my, like when my voice started to really drop. Like if I talk to you, like if I come at you in that tone, you gonna feel like I have a problem with you. But I don't have no problems. I don't want no problems. I'm one of the most peaceful dudes ever. All right, let's get to the video. Peace to the triple G's. Welcome back. We've made it to this glorious moment and another vlog. The screeching begins, where I try my best to win your heart and get you to like and subscribe to my lifestyle, mind-bending, conscious awakening, spiritually elevating channel. I have a few things. First is the much awaited update on my employment situation. As you all know, I've been seeking a software engineering role, and although I've received a few calls back more recently, I've decided to no longer pursue that. An opportunity much more conducive to the path that I'm headed in has presented itself. Valadia and I have had many a conversation about keeping our energy, efforts, and time aligned with family. So with that in mind, we are returning to our original vision of working together as partners on Valadia Organica. Yeah! I'm so excited and looking forward to growing the VO brand as well as my own and developing our collective business savvies. There's a lot more reasoning behind that, but I'll save that for another video. Next, I'd like to speak with you about the single most important thing I've learned throughout my 37 years here on planet Earth. Just in case you're curious, my birthday is September 9th, upon which I will be 38. I know, right? Time flies. I still feel like a young buck, a young strapper. The single most important thing that I've learned throughout my life comes in two parts. I feel like in order to accept the second, you must first hear this preface. Let's get to it, shall we? Okay, first I'm going to show you a map here on your screen. This is a map of ignorance. First, you have your known unknowns. These are all the things that you know that you don't know. Example, I don't know how the pyramids were built. Second, we have the much larger area of unknown unknowns. These are all things that we don't know that we don't know. Such information we don't even know exists and may be relevant to us, but its details are completely outside the scope of our awareness. Here's an example. I wasn't aware that a group of TikTokers calling themselves the Kia Boys are stealing Kias with phone chargers. I wasn't aware to even understand how that's an actual thing. Third are errors. All the things we think we know, but we actually don't. I'm sure this has occurred to almost all of us at least once. These are my favorite because they are the easiest to correct, thanks to the superpower known as search engines. And they are sometimes the toughest to face because in order to face them, we must first acknowledge that we may be wrong. An example of this for me is I know our Kia does $160 because it says 160 on the dash. But if I were to actually test it, it might top out at a lower speed because you know they have like those governors on cars sometimes, or blow up before then. Now, Kias are pretty good cars if you take care of them, I suppose. Side note, I wrote most of this out while we was waiting for our Kia to be serviced, hence the Kia references. The fourth is unknown knowns. All the things we don't know that we actually do. These are all the things we understand but aren't aware of. An example of this would be most of us know that our feet stand firmly planted on the ground. without knowing precise details of the gravitational force, or when you somehow remember some random fact that you had forgotten over time. Next is taboos. Taboos are dangerous, polluting, or forbidden knowledge, and that's self-explanatory. Next, we have denials. These are all the things too painful to know, so we don't. That's probably another thing I should reserve for a whole nother video. I implore you, keep all of these points of ignorance in your mind as we move into the most important thing that I've ever learned in my lifetime. Now, this next subject, to what length I'm about to speak on, I haven't even really figured out yet, even now that I've written this whole entire script out, because I could go on for days, weeks even, maybe months. The single most important thing that I've ever learned is that the Matrix is real. The Matrix is a computer-generated dream. A dream world designed to keep humans under control. Humans are kept sedated, effectively living a virtual life, and kept alive as batteries to sustain the system. Morpheus said, "The Matrix is a system, Neo. That system is our enemy." But when you're inside, you look around. What do you see? Businessmen, teachers, lawyers, carpenters, the very minds of the people that we're trying to set free. Or he said, the very minds of the people that we're trying to save. But until we do, these people are still a part of the system, and that makes them our enemy. You have to understand, most of these people are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so inert, so hopelessly dependent on the system that they will fight to protect it. And that was an astute summation from our guy Morpheus, I should say. Although it's a metaphor to what's actually happening, humans, you and I, our energy and our likeness have been usurped since our birth. Don't believe me? Would you believe the Securities and Exchange Commission? As per the SEC, the birth certificate is the primary bond for its value and is unlimited. It was created for the benefit of the United States of America, where legal title will remain and equitable title stays with the company as collateral to, we're just gonna use John Doe. All capital, John Doe Trust. The company has collateral to John Doe's trust, and John Doe spelled correctly, the individual surety to ensure that the company pays their obligations to the public. The actual definition of the United States is a federal corporation. Remember that. As per 28 USC 3002, section 15A. And the location of the United States is it's in the District of Columbia, as per UCC 9307H. Most people in the world are wholly dependent upon the system and cannot function without it. This system forces them to live in a debt cycle which never ends. The system perpetuates an addiction to materialism for the purpose of producing interest, which is created from debt. Since debt does not really exist, then neither does interest. Hence, the national debt is a hoax perpetrated by the powers that be, which hereinafter I like to refer to them as the powers that were. The biggest con game the world has ever known was perpetuated by those who control education, law, media, churches, banks, medicine. They played upon the innate belief that we must earn our right to live, that we are unworthy, not to trust our intuition, that we must depend upon the authorities, that any punishment we sustain is justified and deserved, that we have no self-generated power, that what is outside of our mind is real. They have confiscated our health, wealth, love, and peace of mind under this ruse. This scam is known as the Matrix, except this action-packed thriller is not on a silver screen. It's playing out right before our very freaking eyes. And this is real life, baby. And that's my video for today. The most important thing that I've ever learned. Boom! I digress. Much love to you. Peace and blessings. We out! First, happening. Oh my God, is this fuck up again? What the fuck? Get it going. Come on. Play. Thank you. Don't believe me? Oh my God.